Namaste. I am your Ravi Krishna, an advocate and social activist. Today I am here to bring the issue of 4,000 plus plot owners who have been struggling from past 40 years to get the legitimate right over the plots which they purchased in the year 1983 in Sankar Hills, Gandipet Mandal, Rangareddy District, in a venture that was led by Rangareddy. The layout was in 461.6 acres. The subject land was purchased from the Pattadars through GPA. And Mr. Rangareddy took permission from the Gram Panchayat for the layout and sold it to various people, including middle and lower middle class people who were working in the government, also in private employees. One of the plot owners I know who retired from the educational department as a joint secretary, and he himself an advocate, is also suffering as on today to get the legitimate right over his property because of the corruption, maladministration of revenue, municipal and PanchayatiRaj departments that resulted in today's situation. The hardships being faced by them is unexplainable, because at the age of 70 to 80 they are running around pillar to post to get the justice, and majority of them are not even in a position to approach the courts because of the cost of the litigation and also the age factor. Many are surviving with their children's money. So that is the situation. And still they did not lose the hope, thinking that somebody would come and help them and get their legitimate rights. I understand that right to property is no more a fundamental right in India after 44th Amendment in 1978, which replaced Article 19(1)(f) and placed Article 300(a) in place of that. Yes, Article 300(a) also confers constitutional right, and it is a human right as per the Supreme Court multiple judgments. So, which cannot be violated by even state or anybody for that matter. Here, the problem issue started is the layout was laid in the year 1983 and an association was formed by the plot owners themselves in the year 1989. And the said association collected 1,60,000 rupees from each plot owner. The total collection was around 50 crore rupees. One person by name Srinivas Gupta, who is the secretary of that association, he misappropriated around 12 crore rupees as per the plot owners. The very purpose of establishing the association was to develop the venture further by laying the roads, drainage and other basic facilities. But they haven't do anything, but they colluded with the land grabbers. Pattadars colluded with the MRO and fraudulently obtained passbooks again even after selling the subject land totally through GPA in the year 1983 to N. Rangareddy. They again obtained passbooks fraudulently by colluding with the MRO. MRO ignored existing layout, Gram Panchayat approved layout and multiple registrations done by the government, and plot owners paid the registration charges to the government while getting registered their plots. All these were ignored and passbooks were issued, and again registrations happened. Now the few association members forcing the plot owners to surrender their rights by taking just 150 square yards plot instead of 500 square yards plot. Are we really in a democratic elected rule under the democratically elected government, or it is a real estate company run by few land mafia or corporates? Why is the government mute spectator despite bringing to that notice? Even yesterday, day before yesterday, I did brought to the notice of the district collector to use his revisionary powers to fix the issue and provide relief to 4,000 plus plot owners who have been struggling from 40 years to get the justice. But no response as on today. This is not only one incident in Telangana, across Telangana, majority in Hyderabad and surrounding districts of Hyderabad. these double registrations, fake layouts, and encroachments to the extreme level. Any complaint brought to the government never addressed as on today, they always become mute spectators, which clearly indicates their involvement here. And government's vicarious liability cannot be ruled out because it is their employees' mistake who committed grave offense, who violated fundamental rights and constitutional right of the citizens, right to life, right to live with dignity, right to hold, have, enjoy property is a fundamental right under Article 21. 300 confers constitutional right, and it is a human right that was declared by the Honorable Supreme Court. And also, just because of mere entry on the revenue records, that does not confer title over the subject property, because the property is already sold. This is held by the Supreme Court in multiple cases. And subsequent sale deeds have no validity in the eyes of law. When there are clear judgments of multiple high courts and the Supreme Court, why every person again needs to approach the court when the law is a settled law, which the government is supposed to follow? When the government expects citizens to be a law-abiding citizen, is it wrong for a citizen to expect the government to follow the rule of law? We have, the constitution clearly says the law should be available to every citizen. Yes, there is a legal service authority. But in India, as you are aware, majority people, like due to lack of awareness, lack of education, many reasons, deprived of their rights. Is it not a government responsibility to protect the rights of the citizen? Only courts have to come up every time to say what you are supposed to do in your legitimate duty for which you are taking salaries. Why can't the government use revisionary powers provided by the same number of acts, the Transfer of Property Act, Registration Act? What is the function of the district collector? Why not he rectify the errors committed by their subordinates and review? Where is the revision happening? Why is the Commissioner and Inspector General of Stamps and Registration is the mute spectator? Such a huge corruption happening in Telangana, why our Anti-Corruption Bureau is a mute spectator here? Why Vigilance is a mute spectator despite raising multiple complaints by the number of activists and media reports? Every time why court has to come and say what you should do, what you should not do? Media anyway highlights only specific issues which they feel like that will benefit them. But we have seen in number of cases wherein media become mute spectator, because media houses either owned by some powerful people or the politicians or some people with vested interests. So they have become mute spectators. Executive legislatures do not support, and only left is judiciary. And people like 70 to 80 age, and at the age where that situation of retirement, after retirement in private service, which is highly impossible for them to roam around and approach the courts and spend years together. There are many litigations pending in the number of courts in Telangana and also few in Supreme Court. 30 to 40 years people have been struggling. This is not only one incident. There are many, even in Aminpur, for which I have already sent a statutory notice under section 80 to Telangana Chief Secretary to rectify the issues or errors committed by your subordinates within 60 days, failing which I am going to approach the Honorable High Court for the appropriate remedy. Because there is a big fraud happened on the government land in Aminpur. About 18 acres of valuable government land was grabbed and constructed villas and sold each villa for 1 to 1.5 crore. 355 villas were sold. It is almost 500 crore fraud It was brought to the notice of Sangareddy collector, but no response. Everyone's notice, tagged everyone on their official Twitter IDs, but no response. Letters sent, no response. Now finally, a statutory notice has been sent to establish my locus standi. I'm definitely going to approach the Honorable High Court if the government is not going to fix the issue. And coming back to the Shankar Hills Plot Owners Association members who have been struggling from 40 years at the age of 70 to 80, roaming around pillar to post to get the justice, hoping the government would at least consider and do the justice. I request Honorable CM, who is a Minister for Revenue as well, and the Municipal Administration Minister KTR, to address this, kindly intervene and instruct your district collector and principal secretary to rectify the errors committed by their subordinates and provide immediate relief to the 4,000 plus plot owners of Shankar Hills. Thank you.